Hey guys, Crewman here, and what a time to be alive. This is the weirdest GPU market I have ever seen. Currently, you can buy basically all 50 series GPUs within 20% or less of MSRP, and most of them at MSRP. You heard that right. So, why is it bittersweet? Well, something's going on with the used market. I don't really know how to explain it, but I'm going to tell you this. You should not be buying used GPUs at all. And I'm going to tell you why after a quick word from today's video sponsor. I just finished my brand new PC build, but there's something I'm missing, right? Yep, it's those Windows watermarks. If you're like me and take your time and do the right hunting and watch the right guides, all to save a ton of money building your latest PC, why on earth would you spend full price on a Windows CD key? Never pay full price for a Windows 10 or 11 key again, thanks to keysfan.com. They currently have a once a year 50% off discount going right now. Use KRT50, that's KRT50, for 50% off, and if you're like me and you build a lot of PCs, you will find that the best value is in their 2 keys pack. So thanks again to today's sponsor, keysfan.com, and save 50% off your next order on a Windows 10 or 11 CD key. Well, this chart basically says it all. If you look at the chart, you can see all of the latest models from NVIDIA and AMD. We do not discriminate here on Crewman Tech. And I have tracked the prices from the 4 most popular vendors to buy GPUs from in the United States: Best Buy, Newegg, Amazon, and Micro Center. So nobody can say that they don't have access to at least one of these 4 sites. And if you will look, essentially everything from the 5070 Ti downwards is within $50 of MSRP, or MSRP, which is incredibly amazing. And even the 5080, you're looking at about $200 over MSRP, which is honestly only about 20% and not that bad in the grand scheme of things, if we're being honest, especially when you consider that that baby is close to a 4090 in performance once you overclock it. Now the 5090 is a little higher. You know, the Micro Center has the best prices for that at $2,500. I personally don't know if prices are going to get any lower than this. I really don't. Now, I could be wrong. With NVIDIA claiming they're going to cut production, we may see another artificially induced shortage similar to what we saw at the beginning of this year when NVIDIA started phasing out the 40 series. Will it happen? I don't know, but this could be the best time to buy new GPUs. As far as the used market goes, all you have to do is look further down and see the prices of the 40 series, and you will see that they're just not worth buying, right? Like, not worth buying at all. And if we check out the prices of the wider used market, you can see that the 40 series, the 30 series, and even AMD is overpriced. You know, you have to go all the way down to like the 6700 XT maybe, or the 3060. Honestly, probably just the 3060 to find a GPU that's worth buying on the lower end. Basically, everything else gets totally outclassed. And at the current prices, I would be skipping essentially everything when 50 series GPUs, as well as the AMD 9000 series, are basically very, very close to MSRP. Why is there better value in the new market? The way economics works is when you can buy the new product with the warranty for cheaper than you can buy the used product with no warranty, generally people are going to buy the new product. But yet, look at the prices of the 40 series and the units sold this month. People are still buying them. Now I'm going to spend a few minutes trying to figure out why and give you my thoughts on it. And let me know if you agree with me in the comments down below. Now, one of the things that I thought was, a lot of people still play old games, and when NVIDIA dropped support for 32-bit PhysX, a lot more people than I realized were actually pretty mad about it. I even saw people who were building 5090s with RTX 5050s slotted somewhere in the bottom so that they could play PhysX titles. You know, especially like titles that have a pretty wide player count, like Arkham Asylum and those kind of games. People love their classics. And the more people I've talked to, the more I'm kind of realizing that. The next thing is, and I don't think you PC gamers are going to like this one, so I'm sorry in advance, but as far as AI workloads go, the 40 series is a lot more profitable than the 50 series, as it's not really been widely adapted yet, as you haven't really been able to buy them in large quantities. You know, it's like which one came first, the chicken or the egg kind of thing. So maybe a lot of AI people are scooping up the 40 series, and that's what's keeping the price high. I know that's the sole reason that the 4090 is still going for over $2,000. I had a buddy actually sell two of his for $2,300 yesterday, which blew my mind. But the person who bought them was using them for AI workloads. And finally, the used market just tracks slower than the new market traditionally. It's one of those things where it's really quick to jump up as people started panic buying GPUs when they realized that we were in another great GPU shortage, at least for a few months anyway. And it's one of those things that's just taking a while to come back down. Although I really feel like we should see faster movement than we have been. Projected that we'd see a lot more drastic movement from the last 30 days ago, and we really haven't seen it. If you look, prices have gone down by maybe a few percentage points at best, 20, 30 bucks here and there. Not enough to really make a dent and justify buying used GPUs. So frankly, guys, all you deal hunters out there aren't going to like this, but it's time to skip the used market right now and buy new GPUs. If you're looking to save some money on parts, you can always shoot for a used motherboard, maybe some used RAM as well, and maybe look at AM4 prices instead of AM5, although DDR4 RAM has gone up for some reason. Just a weird time to be buying PCs right now, or at least buying graphics cards. So, maybe you need to look other places to save money, because right now, buying a used GPU is not a good decision, and that's market-wide. So hopefully it changes in another 30 days. I'll be back in about a month to check. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe. And while it is very, very frustrating that you cannot buy used GPUs for a reasonable price, guys, the 5070 Ti is basically at MSRP right now, which puts it at pretty much puts it at the most dominant GPU on the market right now, with the RX 9070 XT coming up the rear. And at these prices, I think there's a sleeper GPU that is going to take the holiday season by storm, and I'll let you know about that in a future video. So please like and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching, and I've got a ton of great content coming up. See you on the next one. Peace out.